Hey, what's up interwebs? I'm that toy guy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch scale 2-pack of Wampa and Luke Skywalker. So here they are, and I don't have the original box, but I do have Skywarp's instructions. Now they're on the floor. So yeah, here are the figures, and they come with a couple accessories. Well, only Luke comes with an accessory. Well, the Wampa may come with one, but I'll show that off when I get to the Wampa. But first, we'll take a close look at Luke's accessories here, just getting these guys off to the side. So first up, Luke comes with a blaster pistol, which is your standard Rebel blaster pistol. You got the nice silver paint going on here. Let me just zoom in on it. Zoom. Now we're out of focus. But yeah, this thing just looks really nice. Got the number 5 on it. You got the nice molded in buttons and the molded in muzzle. You got the scope on the side and the ammo pack will probably go there. The handle's painted brown, which is nice. Yeah, I would be careful with this though, because this tends to bend a lot, so be careful with that. The next thing he comes with is Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber handle, which looks really nice, painted in silver. You got the gold there on the... What just happened? Why you do this, camera? There we go. Got the nice red there. You got some black up top here, more black down at the bottom. You got the hook where it attaches on Luke. You got a peg hole in there, which is for, I can see it over the camera, the lightsaber blade, which is just cast in all clear plastic. It's got a peg right at the back there to go into the lightsaber, which I will show off in a second. Just going back to the handle quickly, I want to show this off. So focus. So here's the handle. Alright, I'm just zooming out here. Here is a 3D printed replica that I made as I knocked the Wampa over. So Black Series versus life size. Quite small. I haven't finished painting this yet, or ripping off this mold flash. But yeah, quite a lot smaller than the actual thing. But yeah, just bringing in Luke here quickly because it's the first figure we'll look at. He's okay. He's not the reason why you buy this set, so that's fine, but he's okay. I mean, head sculpt wise, he's got a pretty decent head sculpt. There's the face there, he's got the scars, he's got the mouth. The eyes are kind of painted looking up, and his eyebrows are a little wonky on mine. But I mean, that's about it for paint gripes. He's leaning forward. This up here. Does have the antenna at the top, which is nice, and you got that hat. I just wish he came with goggles. That would have been like so awesome if he came with goggles. You have that nice textured look all over the figure with his various helmet things, and this is made out of a cloth. So yeah. And overall, the sculpt and design on this thing is really nice, and the paintwork is awesome too. Like, you got those blue dots there, which I guess signifies his rank, Commander. You got the techno breast pocket thing, you got the seam for the jacket, you got the utility belt and the holster for the gun there, you got the hook for the lightsaber. On the back you just have more pouches. On the arms you got a lot of nice sculpted detail going on there. Trigger finger, you got his pants with the extra gun holster piece, which I wish they had made this a separate piece of rubber that attached to this. But, I mean, that would have inhibited leg articulation, so I understand. You got the textured knee pads and his boots, which are quite nice. So, articulation-wise on this figure, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. So articulation on this guy, the head can do a full 360 degrees. Just, it's inhibited by the collar of his jacket. It can look up only that far. You can look down about that much. No neck pivot. Shoulders can do a full 360. They can go out about that far. He does no bicep swivel. He has an elbow bend and an elbow swivel. Elbow only bends 90 degrees, which kind of sucks. He does have wrist rotation, no wrist hinge, which also sucks. No waist joint, but he does have a diaphragm joint, which can go any which way you want. But you do this, you kind of get a gap there. And you can see that it's just a double ball peg in there. Hips can go forward about that far. They can go back only that much, and they can go out only about that far. Upper leg rotation. Double jointed knees. No boot rotation, which also sucks. And the feet can go forward. Well, they can go forward, they can go back. And he does have ankle pivot. And 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet, which is nice. Now, accessory wise, you can take the blaster. Just get all this out of the way here. You can take the blaster and plug it in. Gosh, strap, get out of the way. And plug it into his thing here, and then just the strap just closes around it if it can. There we go. So you can holster the gun. And you can take the lightsaber, and that little ring there will go over this clip. You just clip it on there, and now Luke's ready to go into battle. Or you can take the lightsaber and wedge it in his hand somehow. Stupid thing, come on. Come on, there we go. You put it in his hand. I rotated his arm all the way around, there we go. You take the lightsaber blade and you just peg it in. And now Luke has his lightsaber. And it's very hard to get him to dual wield it. And he can hold his pistol. I'm just not going to take it out of there because this thing is so thin that I'm afraid of snapping it. So yeah, there he is. And for comparison, here he is next to Deluxe Skydive. So he's taller. Why are you looking down? What is over there? What? You're looking at the tape. Why? Anyway, wow, his head's loose. I gotta fix that again. He is a head taller than a Deluxe, so that's nice. And here he is next to a Marvel Legends 6-inch figure. Here he is next to War Machine, and he's short. He's very short. And here he is next to a Legends, and now he looks tall again. So that's Luke. Now on to the he's gonna fall over. Now on to the main event. The Wampa. Now I know this will make my uncle in England very happy if he were to get one of these, because he loves Star Wars. He loves, I think, more than my dad and I do, and my dad loves Star Wars a lot. So yeah, this is for you. But this figure is just awesome. Yes, mine does have a couple paint blemishes, but I mean that's just a QC issue. But all around, this thing's sculpt is like the hair looks awesome. It's even yellowed a little bit. It looks like something peed on him. Just to get in close here on the head sculpt. Slow zoom into his face. Too far. There we go. It's a very, very nice head sculpt. You got the teeth painted in with the blood on them and the horns, which are separate pieces, and they're soft plastic. This entire figure is basically made out of soft plastic. Not too soft though, it's not like Skywarp nose cone soft. But you got some yellow painted there under the eyes. I just wish the head was a little bit more round than flat up at the top. Yeah, on the back of the head is just hair. But yeah, the sculpt of this thing overall is just awesome. And look at that, you got the fur all around here, and you got the nails. See, I got a little bit of nail paint right there on his fur. He's got some nail polish on his fur, oh no. You got some nice sculpted detail here on the legs, and the feet are just massive. And he does have peg holes. So he can stand very well. camera up a little bit, and hopefully the tripod will cooperate today. No, it's not cooperating. And hopefully this will stay. But articulation wise on this guy, the head can only move about that far. It can't look up or down. This arm can rotate a full 360 degrees. It can go out about that far. You do have an elbow joint that bends at about 90 degrees with an elbow swivel. No bicep swivel. The wrist can rotate and it can hinge forward and backwards, which I like. He has a triple diaphragm. He has a double diaphragm joint, which allows him to rotate at a more natural way. Instead of it being just like one cut in the middle, it's two cuts that are well hidden by the hair, and it looks more natural when you twist them, which I think is awesome. Now the legs, I think on mine they're misassembled, but I mean, I can have any of you guys let me know on that. I think this is misassembled, this leg. But legs can go forward about that far. They can only go back about that much. They can only go out that far. He has upper leg rotation. Single jointed knee that only bends that far. The other knee bends less, just due to the way it's sculpted. And the ankles can go down only about that far, but they can go up pretty far. And he has ankle pivot, which is nice. Now, this arm's articulation is a little different. He has everything from here down is the same as this arm, but this arm can only rotate a full 360 degrees. And that's due to the gimmick where you can, if I can do it, pull it off on a very strong peg, and got some blood painted in there and more blood painted in there. Tripod's falling over again. Stay. Stay. Okay. So that's what I said by this. I don't know if you count this as an accessory or not, but I mean the arm comes off. But the detail in this thing is just awesome. It's very blurry too. Come on, camera, focus on the blood. There we go. You can see they've got the muscles painted in and all the little tendrils and stuff that you have inside your body. I don't know biology, so I don't know anything in here, what they're called. I know what muscles are called, and they're called muscles. Some of the paint kind of bled off on the white peg, but who cares? You're not going to see the white peg. And I mean, the same goes for the blood in here too. The paint didn't finish, but I have some Games Workshop red paint downstairs that I'll probably paint this with. But yeah, just getting the arm back on here. I mean, if you want to leave it off like this, you can give him, some upward articulation, but it's best to just plug the whole thing in. And yeah, there's the Wampa. For comparison, here he is with Skydive. He's a lot bigger than Skydive. Just dwarfs him. He's not the biggest thing I own, but he's still big. Here he is next to a 6-inch figure. Here he is next to War Machine. And even with War Machine's gun pointed, well, let's point it straight up. Even with War Machine's gun pointed straight up, he's still taller. Here he is next to a Bionicle. Here's Skull Warrior, and he's even taller than Skull Warrior. And Bionicles are pretty tall. I mean, they're about Voyager-ish size. Well, these ones are smaller than Voyagers. And here he is next to his buddy Luke. Which, that scales well. Now all I gotta do is buy a Tauntaun, then I can have a little scene set up on my shelf of him killing the Tauntaun and dragging him off. But yeah, I wish this set, I know this is asking a little too much, but I wish this set came with something to hang him upside down. Because Because I think that's why his eyes are painted looking up, so that he's actually looking up in that direction where his lightsaber is. I wish it came with something like that, but I could easily just build it out of Lego or 3D print it or something. Now, one issue I have with this set is that this guy has trouble standing. Like, I mean, if I just shake the table here, he's going to stay standing because he's on camera. Anyway, these feet aren't the most stable thing in the world. And if I plant him, there he goes. Stay. I have to adjust his feet a lot in order for him to stay. But yeah, I mean, the posability on these figures is not the greatest, but I mean, what dynamic poses are you going to be getting him into? He's obviously not going to be doing high kicks. And him, well, I mean, let's try and get him to pose right now. Let's see if we can get him holding the saber. Let's get that out of here. Holding the saber. Lightsaber there. So you get this guy in some okay dynamic poses, but I mean, I do miss the articulation of the first few waves of Black Series figures. Even though I only own one of those. But those were awesome. This and then the newer Black Series figures aren't the greatest articulation wise. They still look cool, but they pose like this guy. And I wish this guy posed a little better, because then I could get him into like a cool sort of, you know, cool little roar, little diorama. But he's just not going to stand no matter what pose I put him in, unless he's standing straight up. There. See, you know, he's going, like, his feet, this foot right here just isn't touching the ground at the front. So it's the way the feet are sculpted that's making him not stand. But overall, this set's quite nice, and if you're a Black Series collector, I highly recommend you buy this. He's not going to stand. Stand up. There, I have him resting on this guy's arm. So yeah, that's been my look at the Black Series 6-inch 2-pack of Wampa and Luke Skywalker. And I'm that toy guy, and stay tuned for my next video.